Okay, got it.
Yeah, Azan, sorry, continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went to seventh, eighth, ninth, and when you understand physics, basically, like how things happen in real life, how the aircraft flies, or how can I connect, you do like mathematical equations, right? X equal to this, Y equal to that, and you think like, okay, what is this? Why am I even finding this X and Y's? And why they are killing me, why I have to do this. So when I went further and further, I realized that they have a physical meaning, basically, that you can really connect mathematics to what is happening in your real life. What I'm speaking right now, I can relate that via mathematics to you, but it will be very complicated, but it can be done. And that's the beauty of connecting physics and mathematics, and I was very fascinated towards it. I never liked chemistry, to be honest. It's a very boring subject for me. So when I went to 11th and 12th, I concentrated more on physics, mathematics, and that's when I realized that if I do engineering, I would be able to connect these two together and learn more and more. So I started searching for what I should do, and I realized that there is a stream called aeronautical engineering, or there is called aerospace engineering also. There is not much difference. It's just almost the same, and that's where they teach you how aircraft is made, what goes into designing of that aircraft, what you can actually write it on a paper, and what you can physically make it, how the aircraft flies, how it was evolved through these years. I learned everything of that during my 4 years of my engineering, and that's where I learned one of the subjects was vibrations in that, and I moved towards vibrations. But when you think that okay, I will become an aeronautical engineer, or I will become an engineer in general, you will not do everything. No one knows everything in this world, but you should know something very good so that you can excel in life. You can know many things, little, there is no harm in that. It's always good to be exploring things new and new. I also explored myself throughout my life journey. But what I feel is, if you go towards engineering thinking that okay, tomorrow I'll learn, after graduation from engineering I'll build my own aircraft, that's not going to happen. It takes billions and billions of money to make one aircraft, and so much of people, like I would say the aircrafts which you make, there are almost 4,000 to 5,000 people working only on just one aircraft. And that way, you alone cannot make one aircraft, but you can understand how that entire aircraft works. You can always understand that, you can gain the knowledge of it through internet also. You can learn, or you do engineering, you basically meet with people who know these things, who will teach you these things, and that's how you can evolve in learning what I have learned, how the aircraft flies. I think someone had question from the campus, right? I stopped that guy. No, Advai, right? Am I spelling your name correct? Advai?
Sorry?
Your name is correct, right? Advai. That's how you
Yeah,
say your
Advai.
name. Advai. Yeah. Did I answer your question? Or you're still not convinced?
Can you please explain it again?
Okay. So what I did is, first, when I was very young, I was more interested how the actual things work and how do I mathematically relate it with maths. So there is a saying which is very famous, that anything and everything in this world can be mathematically written, and it has been written many things, and many things are on the verge of getting written. So I was very much interested to know that okay, if an aircraft flies, how I can mathematically represent it, and how that maths can be related to how physically an aircraft flies. So that's how I started learning, and I did my engineering in aeronautical engineering, where they teach you in 4 years. They'll teach you every aspect of aircraft, like how what engine you saw, right? How it is made, how does it power the aircraft so that it can lift those 1,000 kilograms of aircraft, and They will teach you how you can make it lighter, what are the researches going on making it lighter, and how it flies basically, because everyone is fascinated how this huge structure flies, and everyone joins because of that, but there is much more to it. You have to control it also after it is in the air, right? When you have to make a turn, how do you make a turn? You can't just make a turn like you do it from a car. And that way I learned more and more, and you have to keep on evolving. Like, you see now Boeing is a company which makes an aircraft. It is launching a new aircraft, so people who have learned the old aircrafts have to learn this new aircraft. People who made the new aircrafts had learned what was there before, and that's how they came to this one. If you don't know what was before, you can never do a better thing today. And that's how you have to learn everything step by step. Learn it in engineering, and then you can do your masters or anything which you want to do and learn more about it. I have a question. As a child, what things interested you in learning? I i never got bored of mathematics as such, because I don't know why I was fascinated towards mathematics, but it's something always used to be fascinating because it is challenging. Always it challenges you in different ways, your minds to propel towards things, and mathematics is one of the easiest way to sharpen your memories as well. So if you have a good, if you want to go good memory, you have to solve more sums and those kind of things. But I always had that question, and as a child you will always have that question, and you should have questions in life. When you ask questions, then only you will pursue it to find answers. I also had questions like, why are you to find xy in a equation? You have x plus y whole square. What is the use of x plus y whole square? No one teaches you, but it actually has a meaning to it, why you need those things in life. But sometimes it goes away with time because you never put it into real practice, right? Because if a person is not doing engineering, he goes into biology, he will never understand why he learned that. But that is something which you have to learn, and that's a flaw of your Indian education system. But I say that at some point in life you may need it, you may not need it, but you have to be curious about things. What I will feel that, be curious about things, learn, try to always ask question why. If your teacher is telling you that x plus y whole square is x square plus 2ab, x a plus b whole square is x square a square plus 2ab plus b square, then you ask them why is it always like that? Why can't it be something else? What does it mean? If you ask them, right, they may feel bad about it, but they'll explain you, they know it. Okay. So if they teach you something that, okay, you factorize this and you get this factor, so why do I need to factorize it? Why do I need to learn factors? Why do I need to learn square roots? Why do I need to learn polynomials? You ask them why. What can I do from this? What can I gain from it? Like, you have a Pythagoras theorem, right? Like, you have two and you have a line, you find out how the hypotenuse is. It has such beautiful applications in world that I can't even explain you because it will take a lot of time. But hypotenuse finding using Pythagoras theorem has made life so much easier for people to take shortcut, because if you go from here to here, it's a long path, this is the shortest path. And that's how we have reduced the time of traveling. But people don't teach you that, they just tell you that, okay, this is the Pythagoras theorem. But if you ask why I need to learn Pythagoras theorem, what is hypotenuse, why I need to find it, is very important. So ask why I need to learn this.
How did you started connecting maths, and how? I mean, the question is like how? I mean, maths and let's say what you're saying, physics or
Yeah.
maths real life.
So,
So do
so
can you remember those experiences?
yeah, so I do because till 10th standard we did not have explicitly something called physics. You don't get anything like physics as such in 10th standard. You get it only in 11th standard, and in 11th standard we had a beautiful subject of physics. And in physics you have mathematical formulas, and that's where I realized that, okay, if a body is moving from here to here, you can actually represent it using this formula. formula, and if I have to solve this formula, I need to know factorization, and that's how I need what I learned in 7th standard, I need to hit it here. But it's not that I have to wait till 11th standard to know that. If a person wants to know it in 6th standard also, and if he asks why, that why I need to factorize, people will tell you, okay, going further you will face some situation like this where you need to find out this. And when I realized it was very late in 11th standard, somewhere where I found out new and new concepts of physics which can be represented mathematically, like how two magnets attract each other. You can do it mathematically. How why do two magnets go away from each other if it is same poles? So such beautiful phenomena of physics can be made it mathematically, and that's how I correlated maths with physics. Leela, we can't hear you. I think there's some issue with the audio. Maybe you can type it in the chat.
A question on the chat.
Yeah, please, please.
Should I read it?
I read that in the chat. That's what I answered. Why didn't you get ever bored for the XYZ concepts of physics? Because when you are in I think you are in 7th, 8th, ninth, right? You anyone is in 12th? No, 11th, 12th. Yeah. So that's where you have, right, physics and mathematics. So before that, no one taught you. So that way, I think as a child, I was never interested in noise and vibration. I didn't even know that it existed. So as a teen and adult, I always aspired to be an engineer, not engineer, but I always was interested in aircrafts, as I said, because that was the only thing which I saw and I was fascinated towards. And I wanted to become an aeronautical engineer. But going further, as life went on, when I reached my company, I realized that that's a beautiful stream where I can put my knowledge of physics and mathematics and try to reduce noise, so that because that's a burning issue of too much noise in aircraft, and how you can eradicate that to make it silent so that it's a peaceful journey. Even aircrafts, uh, for that matter, are getting silent and silent. Your cars, as you see, it was too noisy back then, because you guys will never know what noise was in cars, because now cars are very silent, but they are still working. Now electric vehicles are coming, right? They are very noisy. They have their own sound characteristics, so it's a new challenge, and that's how we work on that. Yes. Yeah,
I have a question.
please.
I've heard in many places that sound vibrations bounce off walls.
Pardon?
Sound vibrations, right?
Yeah.
They bounce off walls.
Yes.
Why?
Okay, so you need to understand a little bit of sound. I'll tell you. So when I speak, right, when I speak, there is, let's say, a your air is there, right? Your air, it creates a wave. Basically, it creates a wave. Now this, you can think that it is kind of a, um, you have a ping pong ball, right? Like a ping pong ball, it will go up and down, up and down, up and down, based on the amount which I say. So if I speak like this, it goes very slowly. If I speak like this, it goes very high. If I speak like this, it goes nominally. So like that, that wave is traveling up and down, up and down, up and down, till it reaches some point where it can vibrate. Now, if it is going and hitting somewhere on the wall, it has some energy in it, right? Because my vocal cord has tried to give it some energy. It is going and hitting the energy. And with that energy, if it doesn't find any other place to travel, it will bounce off. That's why you create in recording studios, they create walls of glass wool, so that when it goes and hits the walls, it will go inside that wool and it will absorb it. It will not bounce off, because in a recording studio, when a person is singing or speaking, he needs to hear that voice only. He doesn't need to hear the echoes of his own voice or her own voice. Vishruti, I think, can correlate to it, because when she speaks, she doesn't want to be heard with the echo of her own noise. So that they create glass wool on everywhere, so that when it goes, it hits the walls and it will go inside. But in your general house, in an empty house, when you go, you hear echoes, right? That's because when you hit, it comes back, because you are giving it some energy. It can't go beyond it, it will come back to you. That's it. So that way I can tell you, if you know one law, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, right? It has to be conserved in some or the other way. So when it hits the wall, the energy has to be conserved, so that it has its come back. It can't penetrate inside, it is not strong enough to go inside the wall. That's why it will come back to you.
The soft thingies are called the woolen
Yeah,
sheets
so
are called
it's,
acoustic panels.
yeah, exactly, acoustic panel. So you call it as glass wool. Basically there is a glass also and wool also between that, and there are holes in it which will entrap those waves in it.
Oh, yeah. Because we have a home theater here, that's how I.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it will be covered with those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's covered with another sheet of cloth or something.
yeah.
Azan, Leela has posted two
Yes.
questions. Were you inspired by anyone in this field?
Lately I was, yes, I am. The person who is my mentor, uh, he's not that famous, but his name is Jamin Guan. He's a Chinese, but now is in America. He is a pioneer in noise and vibrations currently, but no one will know him, because this is a very niche field, and this guy has years of 40 years of experience. He's been doing this since he was graduated in noise and vibrations. So yeah, I'm highly inspired by them, and I take guidance from him, and I'm learning from him a lot. And as an engineer, what skills are important? One, I told you, the curiosity will take you everywhere. I think that's the only motto of learning anything in life, not only engineering. Like the you have to have that strength of asking why, to your teachers, to anyone who teaches you something new. Take it from them, but you ask why. Because I told you, right, like things, many things. You should ask why. We don't have time for it, I agree, but when you are in class, when you are learning something or seeing something, let's say to your home, some person comes to fix a bulb, and you ask him like, what happened to the bulb? Did you ever ask? He just changes and he goes. You never asked him like why it went away, or after fixing this new bulb, why it goes away, why this light is coming like this. No one asks that, because we lost that curiosity, because we got adjusted to things that okay, it happens. Why do I need to worry about it? Because if it's working, it's fine for me. But how it is working and why it happens only like that, if you start asking that question in your entire life in any of aspects, you can prosper more. Because when a person will tell you that, you will never forget it, because you asked for that knowledge. If a person is forcefully putting that knowledge in your brain, you are tend to forget it. But if you want that knowledge and you ask for it, then you never tend to forget it.
I think here most of them are open learners. So they,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so they are very comfortable with asking questions and
and
know.
I implore you, you do that. And when you go ahead, when some juniors are there, you teach them that you should do that. And I am very happy that people ask questions and want to know, and just not blindly follow things. Because in Indian education system, we are tend to made like you have to blindly follow, you have 50 class, I agree with that. The teacher also can't teach, but the students also don't ask, so you can't blame anyone that way. So that way, I think that if you ask and be curious about things, that can take you to places. That's it. So when and how did you decide that you want to move into sound and vibrations and work for it? How can one decide a specific field? It's not about deciding. uh I can tell you how I ended up being there was when I was offered this and I started to explore this. I was given a month's time to see whether I am comfortable with it or not in my company. And I started off in a very different field. I started on doing things for tires, making tires basically. I was not a part of sounds and vibration, but when I started making tires, I realized that that is not a thing for me. I'm not a person who can make a tire because that's a different technology itself, and there's no physics much involved in it. So when I was given an option of moving into sound and vibration, I found it really fascinating. And sound in general has been an integral part of my life. When I used to see my dad basically doing things on uh, sounds, I was like, how does this actually happen? Basically, what I speak, how is it converted electronically and perceived by you guys? It's like unimaginable things which as a child you can see. And when I was able to explore it, it became really fascinating for me, and that drove me. So what are your hobbies? Are they related to sound or aeronautical engineering? As a child, I had the hobby of making paper planes. I used to tear papers of my notebook and make paper planes, and always fascinated how they fly. Like you, I think you all make paper planes, right? So yeah, so I used to make paper planes. Currently, my hobbies, I try to read a lot, not novels. I read research of people because I want to know more. But to be honest, my hobbies are not related to sound and engineering. Because I already do a lot when I work, so I need to take some time off. So I play football, and that's it. I don't have any other hobby apart from watching and playing football. That's it. I do that only.
We have a question here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You said that you do engineering, sound engineering of the sound of the engines of the aircraft, right?
Yes.
But how is the sound actually? Because you need to get it into a device, right? On the platform or the media or whatever you call it.
Mm.
How is it connected? Do you have cables from the engine?
Okay. So there is something called microphones. You have different sorts of microphones which you can keep. You know what is a microphone, right? You don't know what is a microphone? You know what is a mic? Normal mic. You know what is a mic, right? Yeah, that's so. When you take mic is too big, you can't keep it on the aircraft. So they made small mics now, which are really good. That's called a microphone. Okay, very small. This is the same thing which is there in your mobiles also. Very small device which captures your audios. Okay, and converts it into electronic signals. So those kind of devices are kept everywhere on the side of the aircraft where they can basically capture those audios, and they can then they convert it into digital manner in digital manner. So everything is digital because you have to see it in a computer. So what I speak is currently getting converted into some signal, and then going and basically decoding is happening, and many things are happening, and it's being perceived by you through speakers, right? So what I'm saying, this is also a microphone. It's a very small chip which will convert your frequencies, basically your audio, into electrical pulses. That's what they use for measuring how much sound is coming. Share a few failures or mistakes that you will laugh at it now. Failures in life. Okay, my dad is not listening. Okay, so I scored very less in 12th standard. I I didn't score really good in 12th standard. In chemistry, I got 37 marks. In physics, I scored really good. Chemistry, I just passed. And because I never found it fascinating, and the mistake was I used to bunk my tuition classes and used to roam with friends. Never studied much, but I laugh at it now because I never had to apply it in my life, and I'm thankful that I'm away from chemistry. But that was one thing which, if I had to go back and change, I would learn a little bit of chemistry in life and score good marks, so that I could have got a good percentage also at times. Another mistake in life, which I did in my job itself, it was a very big thing. Uh, so we create these things which you can do for sound, right? And I had to divide it by certain number, but I divided it by some another number, and I, I I gave that, and people sent it to the customers, and now the customer came back saying that it is wrong. This answer is not correct, and everyone was wondering what happened. No one knew it, and I silently changed that number back to what it was supposed to be, and sent it back saying that what you are doing is wrong, but my code is correct only. So that was one thing which I did, and yeah, but that mistake made me more cautious before doing things. So maths can be vicious at times.
I think I will have to leave now. I have a 4 o'clock live.
Oh,
Uh,
nice. On okay.
but it was wonderful listening you, Azan. Leela,
Yeah,
you're saying something, but you are not audible properly.
yeah. I think something with her audio input.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe her microphone has gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe. We're talking about sound and microphone, and Leela's microphone is gone. So I think if you have more question, maybe you guys can continue. Yeah, thanks, Azan. And if you, I think anybody wants to know a little more about all this, as Ratnesh suggested, maybe you can.
yeah. Let's say take a class on how aircrafts fly for them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, of
Thanks,
course, not
Azan.
miss that. I'll come for that.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Azan. Thanks. I'll leave. You
Yeah. Okay.
continue. Yeah,
Okay. You take care.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice knowing all of you,
Yeah,
and
thank
you
you. Nice knowing you also.
and you guys,
Thank
please
you.
take care during this corona, and stay safe, study well, and learn more in life. There's a lot to learn.
Okay,
Not
thank
only
you.
sound and vibration. There are many things. You can explore everything in life. Don't constrain yourself by these thoughts. It's just that you can do this also. This is just one of the many, many, many things in life that you can do. There are so many things in life to do, and apart from being doctor and engineer, you can be anything in life. Just do your best. That's it. That's what I wish for you, and all the best to all of you. Whatever you do the best in life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, Leela. Take care. I'll connect to you.
Bye.